Now, Sandra, you said something earlier that I thought it was interesting about women being afraid to get into business.
Yeah, I always felt that, you know, in my career, I've worked in very male-dominated fields, and I feel like a lot of women still don't have that. I don't know, some people behind them to push them to say, listen, you can do this. This is not a man's world. Oh, excuse me.
It's okay.
It's not a man's world. They're afraid to take that risk, or, you know, they just don't feel like that they can do it. And so they're just scared. And, you know, I have, like I said, have had a lot of challenges working with, you know, in a male dominated field all the time, but you have to just poke your nose through and, you know, just keep persevering. And like women, I think in general have so many different qualities to offer any business as an owner, because they are a little bit more compassionate, I think, with staff, and they are a little bit more creative as far as maybe how they run their business than just the good old standard, you know, protocol. So I really want to encourage women that just take that risk and take that chance and start something on your own, and
I mean, the courage
and have the courage to do
jump
it.
into the pool.
It is a scary thing, but I always remember someone saying that without risk is no success.
There's no gain.
There's no gain. So you know you can't be afraid to fail, because I mean I've had businesses that have failed, so you can't be afraid to fail.
You can't succeed unless you fail.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, without.
You know, Sandra, that brings up an interesting point. So I read a study, and it talked about, you know, what are the skills for entrepreneurs in today's day and age. And there was two in particular. One was AQ, which I've talked about a few times at Pro. And it really is your adaptability quotient. And what that means is how fast do you adapt to changing circumstances, okay? How fast do you adapt to not succeeding, okay? So do you pick yourself up, and do you just kind of say, okay, brush yourself off and say, what are the things I can do better next time, okay? And then you unlearn some of the things you've already learned, because things are happening so quickly that unless you unlearn them and relearn them, and I'll give you an example in my industry. When you deal with insurance, you deal with standard and substandard, okay? And now London Life is moving to a new brand called Canada Life, okay? And now the terms are platinum and gold, and so I now have to unlearn my old knowledge and relearn the new knowledge, okay? Yes. It's the same sort of thing, but the language is now different, okay? So when entrepreneurs then get to the thing where, okay, we don't need to be an entrepreneur by ourselves anymore. We can't afford to hire employees. Okay, then EQ comes into play. Okay, and that is your ability to build teams and to look, if you will, at the long term. Okay, women have a natural propensity to be really good long-term planners, and so that is a real advantage in terms of planning and looking at the future. Also, profit for women is not the only motive. It's much more broader. I mean, yes, the bottom line matters. I can't deny that, okay, but it's not the only motivator for women, okay, and that has been my experience. I mean, I can't, but it certainly augments or confirms what you're saying.
Well, and to your point, when some young kids come in and want to buy a car,
yes,
you know, they have that instant gratification thing that they want. They want that best car. They want that expensive car, and I always try to tell them that I'm not here looking at today. I'm looking at down the road for them. So, you know, if somebody comes in and says, I want a $10,000 car that has 200,000 kilometers on it, well, when you trade that in down the road, there's no value. Exactly. Yes. So, you know, you're right. Because I always think when I have someone in front of me, I'm thinking of not this car, but maybe the next car. I know it seems a little silly that we're talking about cars, but it is their credit that we're building at the same time.
It's also a plan.
It's a plan. Exactly.
Yeah. Deb, do you have any comments on what we're talking about?
I was going to go after you.
Okay. She's a little too quiet.
Well, you were a target. What do you want to accomplish by this? What do you hope to accomplish by this?
Well, it basically would be for the businesswoman. When I moved up here 25 years ago, I came from the city. I moved up here and everybody told me I would not succeed in business because...
That's the best motivation going.
I said, you don't even know who I am. You don't know my qualifications. How can you judge that I will never succeed? Mm-hmm. I have managed 5 different businesses in 25 years. because of my creativity. And I never gave up.
Best motivation going, you can't do it.
Yeah.
So now I have a business in Ennismore called Stagecoach House by Woodsmiths. I'm inspired every day by a man that I met 13 years ago that gave me the inspiration and said, you can do it.
You can.
And I have done it because I've had the backing of my family and the support of my good friends, Linda as well. That
helps, doesn't it?
Encouraged me. And our daughters, we were the modeling mums that drove to Toronto for photo shoots and trying to find places in the middle of a snowstorm to encourage our daughters to follow their dreams and encourage them to be the women that they need to be as well. I only had one daughter. She's working on a private yacht, head stewardess, has a crew of 28 people that she manages every day and 22 staff. Guess 40 people on a yacht. I guess I did something right.
Yeah, and she'd have to do something right to be there.
That's right.
Yeah, because
I gave her a good education. I sent her to Lakefield College. She got the opportunity to meet people all over the world, and those people are friends.
And her confidence level must be like sky high.
Yeah.
Because of that, and that's confidence, right?
And I think women are good at that. Women are good at trying to boost each other and be there to help. Like, I think sometimes it's not as dog eat dog as, men are competitive in sports and all that sort of stuff. And I think women tend to want to be there to boost each other and to help each other succeed, because we actually feel really, really good when a partner or somebody else in business succeeds. I think,
I know,
versus
that's a
just
nice feeling, right?
Yeah.
Rather than the old jealousy.
Well, exactly.
They're doing great. Isn't that wonderful?
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just, what do you think of that?
I think the biggest contributor of success is support. I firmly believe. I mean, obviously, you have to have a passion, and you have to, be dogmatic about, no matter what, how many times you fall down or you get hit on the head, you stand up and you figure out how to keep going, right? And so perseverance, for me, as well as support, are the two really big and passion. I guess those would be the three, right? And the women here today, the ones that I asked to attend, have exactly that. Yeah, and they're honest and genuine, okay? And those things, I believe you can't buy. You either have it or you don't.
You either have it or you don't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What comes around goes around, sort of thing, too. Yeah.